Okay, this evening I want to talk about how to interface WSJTX to an SDR. So WSJTX is a program for doing digital communications. Most people usually use it with their transceiver, but you can also use it with just a receiver. SDR has been around for a while. Here's one of those. I just got this today. I haven't even used it. One of these RTL SDRs.
What does SDR mean?
Software defined radio. I'm glad you asked. I have tonight. We'll show you the AirSpy. This is an AirSpy. This is like about $169, and they operate. That one operates from like 50 kilohertz to 260 megahertz or something like that. I got involved with SDRs at the bottom of the last sunspot cycle when I was trying to set up a station for 2,200 meters. And I had no equipment that would receive on that band, 137 or so kilohertz. And so I bought the SDR for that. And I saw some information on the internet about, how you can interface WSJTX to an SDR. So the idea is that you would control the SDR from WSJTX, from that program. So I've been using it for a long time, and tonight I'm going to show you how to interface it. This works. So the first thing you're going to need is obviously your SDR. But SDR Sharp is the software that comes with the AirSpy SDR, and it actually works with a number of other dongles like this RTL. It'll work with that as well. There's a couple of extra steps you have to do to get that to work. But SDR Sharp is the software that, if you open it up, that's how you manually control the SDR. It selects the frequency. It's got a lot of different features, different decodes, sideband, FM, AM, things like that. The other thing you're going to need is virtual serial port software. So, normally WSJT connects via a COM port to your transceiver. But we're not doing that. We're going to go to the SDR via software. So we're going to create two virtual COM ports so that WSJTX is going to communicate on one, and SDR Sharp is going to hear it on the other and interpret the signals. So you need that. You also need an add-on for SDR Sharp. This is an add-on program called Calico Cat. This is a program that's been around for a long time. And what this program does is it converts the commands from WSJT to SDR Sharp. So, you basically tell WSJTX, I have a Kenwood TS2000, and it sends the command to Calico Cat, and it basically it sends the proper command to SDR Sharp to change the frequency and do things like that. So you need that as well. And then finally, you're going to need a virtual audio cable software. So you can get this. This is free software. It ports the audio stream from one program to the audio stream in the other. So we're going to port the audio from the output of SDR Sharp to the input of WSJTX. So that's what you need to get started. Okay, where you get this stuff, where SDR Sharp is from AirSpy, Calico Cat, and some of the other plugins is at the second URL. There's also information about how to install Calico Cat, and then a couple of links here for a virtual serial port software. When I originally did this, there was a program called COM0Com, and apparently it's not around anymore. But free virtual serial ports works pretty good. If you want to spend real money, Altima has a nice product. I actually use it because I use it for different applications, but that's like $100 and change. But for the most part, the software is free. And of course, a virtual audio cable is free. And so you can get it at that URL. If at the end of this, if anybody wants the slide deck so that they can try it themselves, just send me an email. I'll give you the email address at the end. All right, how do you do this? Well, first you got to download all the software from the previous slide. Next, if you're using an AirSpy SDR, it's basically plug and play. You basically download the software and you plug in your unit. If you're using an RTL SDR, there's a couple extra steps, but they're all in the manual that I've given you a link for. You basically run a batch file that installs the right driver, and then you install Calico Cat. That's the add-on for SDR Sharp I mentioned. Then you connect your SDR and configure SDR Sharp. Now at this point, you have your SDR and you have the software that comes along with it. And now you want to make sure that you've configured it correctly, because WSJTX is not going to work if this doesn't work. So you want to select maybe the 20-meter band, connect an antenna to it, make sure you can see signals, put a pair of headphones in your computer, make sure you can decode stuff, make sure it's working right. So once you've gotten to that point, you want to configure SDR Sharp, the audio output, to use the virtual cable, the virtual audio cable. So this is just a selection, for your output. Do I want the speakers? Do I want the headphones? No, I want the virtual audio cable. So I do that. Now I got in the virtual serial port software, I got to create a pair of virtual serial ports. So I just select two unmapped ports that I don't plan on using. So like 15 and 16 or something like that. And I basically want to merge them together. So whatever you see on 15, you'll see on 16. So you do that. And then I open WSJTX and configure it for the other COM port that you created. And you use the same settings as in Calico Cat so that you can communicate between the two. In WSJTX, you select the other end of that virtual cable. And then finally, you just press the play button on the SDR and then start using WSJTX. And at this point, you should be able to control SDR Sharp and the SDR from WSJTX. So this is a screenshot of SDR Sharp. So, here's your signals. Over here, here's your Calico Cat that's configured for 15. And over here, here's the audio output that's configured for the virtual audio cable. And in WSJTX, I'm configured for a Kenwood TS2000, COM16, and I configured for the other end of the virtual audio cable. And if everything works, this is what you should get. So here's your signals, here's your decodes, and you ought to be able to just change this, and it'll change the SDR, and it just works. So
what are you looking at there left?
On the left, you're looking at the spectrum, the audio spectrum, and the signals within that audio spectrum. Each one of these is a station.
And those are running FT8?
They're running FT8.
Okay. And on the right?
And on the right is your decode. So here you're looking at all the signals, and here's those on a specific frequency. This is 1501. And it's frequency audio offset. All right. Here I think it's 30 meters.
I mean, are you using it yourself?
Yeah, I use it on all bands. I mean, I use it for like Whisper. I'll just turn it on and walk away, and I forward the information to PSK report or something like that, or WhisperNet. Okay, so here's a little demo. I preface this by saying I blew out the front end of my SDR Sharp. I had it plugged in for literally years, not thinking about it, and I run high power. I killed it basically. So I've ordered another one. It just hasn't come in time.
What kind of noise did it make?
I didn't even see any smoke.
So you overloaded its front end?
Oh yeah, it's deaf as a doornail. Exactly. All right, so here is WSJTX on the right and SDR Sharp on the left. So can't see it very well, but
you're not receiving anything right now.
No, I'm not. There's no antenna, and even if I had an antenna, you wouldn't hear anything.
Right.
Now, but the only thing I can show you is that I can control it. Let's go to like 40 meters. So now I told WSJTX I want to go to 40 meters, and the SDR Sharp went to 40 meters. So that's how you do that. And
I take it once you have the software set up and working right once, it's like that forever?
yep, basically.
How do these SDR dongles, I'll call them as a general term, how are they actually receiving the signal? Are they receiving it over the internet, or are they receiving it from
Over the air. Over the
So
air.
you were talking about 2200. That's a god-awfully long antenna.
It is, and very few people that I know have an antenna that's full size. I use a 160 meter inverted L with a very large variometer, a very large coil that makes it look like a 2200 meter.
So you have to play all the normal antenna games.
Oh God, yeah. So this will work with this as well. This $30 RTL dongle. So for $30 and a little bit of finagling, you can have an SDR on the air and be able to listen to anything from 2200 meters up to 260 meg.
Yeah, so I was thinking about trying to track down something like this for the VLF.
Yeah, it's great for VLF. I've used it just to look at stuff in the VLF band, not even 2200 meters. There's beacons, just some low frequency beacons.
All right, so it's doable with this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can listen to repeaters. You can listen to the 222 band. I mean,
People have got, I've seen some YouTube videos where people have got them spread around. I can't hear you on my receiver here, but later I'm going to switch over to this SDR that's down in Georgia.
right.
You've got a good signal down there, so I can talk to you with my transmitter here, but I'll listen to you down there.
So if you go to a site called Kiwi SDR, Kiwi like New Zealand,
Right.
KIWI SDR, they have hundreds of SDRs around the world that basically are websites.
So you can just go access them.
Yeah, so-
and start listening.
I give you, for instance, I found one outside Tokyo where one of the AM broadcast stations was giving English lessons to their listeners, okay, which I thought was very interesting, okay, but you can find stations literally anywhere, and the Kiwi SDR are amateur oriented, so they, I don't know what the low frequencies are, but they go up to 30 megahertz, and that's it.
As an engineer, I find this stuff fascinating, right? Developing leading edge technology like that. As an amateur radio operator, it takes the fun out of it. Really good. That's why I was happy when you said, well, no, I still got to go out and design an antenna to work with this stuff, as opposed to just snatching it off the internet.
Kiwi SDR then will ruin it for you. But there are some interesting things you can do with it. So fascinating.
As an engineer, I probably will look at that. Yes. Oh, really? Okay.
So I figured while we're here, I would try to. Damn, I'm trying to get on the Wi-Fi here. How the hell do you do that quickly?
I don't know.
With this computer. Damn.
Is this a Windows computer?
Yeah. Normally there's something. What's that? Ah, here we go. So.
Is there anything that says expand?
No, we don't want that. All settings. Because if I can get to the Wi-Fi, we can look at. There's a website we can do. Network and share. Oh, there.
The next one.
The next one. Ah, you're right. 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 Right there. And what's the Wi-Fi here? Com center?
Remember the password?
Yeah, I have no idea what it is. You want to enter it?
There is one on the whiteboard inside the breaker.
Because one thing we can do is there's like a server, so you can connect to a server and show signals.
Okay.
Recreation at 70. Recreation
Singing out loud for
at 70. Next.
Yeah, I'll put that part up.
Thank you. Connected. All right. Now, if I go, whoops. I go back to here and I say source server network. Okay. And then we got to say source server network. Yeah, I know I'm connected. Now, how do I find a station? No, it's not working. Anyway, I was hoping to be able to show you like an online server that has it, but it's just not working. So anyway, that's it.